everybody, hi, welcome. I'm still using my Edith Holden book and still making lots of ephemera, and I'm still having a really good time, and I hope you are as well. Today I've made a little mock-up of what I want to make, which is this, and it's just slightly embellished. I've just put some ribbons on it, but isn't it pretty? It's so pretty, and it's out of if you were watching yesterday's live, it's out of this template. As you can see, I've used it there. And the other thing that I made this morning was this little slide. It kind of looks like how I wanted yesterday's to look, but this one's fine. It's got the little ball chain on it there, which is really nice. So that's the slide. I've put a brad in each corner before I glued it shut, so the back is nice and flat. And we'll go about making this one today, I think. Let's put that in the basket. The basket of goodness. So as I say, I'm using this one, and I've cut out my working copy now to use in this. So it's just the same. I've just cut it out of there, and I've also cut out a piece of plain card which is the same height as this but 3/4 of an inch wider, and that's it. That's all we need to know. The other thing is that just didn't have the papers left in that signature that I'd pulled out, so I've actually had to pull out another signature. So we're chomping through the book, but I have still got loads and loads of papers left. I just need to go back and use them for things like pockets and that sort of thing. They just weren't suitable for this. So let's see, the first thing we're going to do is cover this, the back of here, and this is why I had to start a new signature in the Edith book, because I had no text left, none at all. So I want that back to be pretty much covered in text. So I'm going to go to there and let's just go right to the edge and mark it. Actually, I'll go to this edge and mark it, and then I'll know where to trim it with the little trimmer. There and there. Well, the reason that this video is later than I normally post my videos is because Mr. F was feeling a little bit better. Those that follow me will know that he's done his back in good and proper, but he was feeling a little bit better today, and the sun was shining. It was a really frosty night last night, but he's got some gel that you rub on to sore backs, etc., and it kind of works, which is brilliant. So he was feeling up to going in the car for just nothing, no reason really, just, as we call it, a jaunt. Just for a jaunt. Have a look around, see what we could see. Sometimes we see deer, sometimes we see owls. If we're really lucky, we see a red squirrel. All sorts of things. Today actually we didn't see anything, but that doesn't matter. The main point of today was getting out and about, which we did. I mean, we never got out of the car, but that doesn't matter. We were outside, just out of these four walls really. So where's my other mark then? Maybe I've just chopped it off, I don't know. Ah, there it is. It's hiding in amongst the text. There it is. Okay, let's just make sure we've got that straight. Right. Frog in my throat again. So that's the side that I want to put down there, and there's nothing stopping me, I don't think, just gluing that straight down. I don't think so anyway. Time tells, doesn't it? When you get on, you think, oh no, I should have done that first. But I think we're okay with this one. We're up to June now in the book. kind of halfway through the year, really. I guess by the time we start the new signature, that really will be halfway through the book, I think. But, you know, I've got loads I've still got one piece of April left. I've got most of May left, and I've got all of June apart from what I'm using now. So I've still got a lot of paper to use up. I just have to put my thinking cap on and find good uses for it. Because I'm trying to use it, you know, in a way that shows off the paper to its best. Just make sure that's square. I think it's square. Lovely. I think we had a blue tit in our garden today, which those of you that know me know I am obsessed with blue tits. I absolutely love them. They are the most beautiful birds. And they're very blue. And it just landed on the washing line. And I just was about to say to Mr. F, oh look, there's a blue tit. When Mr. Robin came around, and robins are very territorial, and the blue tit just disappeared before the robin could have a go with him. Right, that's fine. I'm going to ink round that. Isn't Edith text just glorious? It's just the best. I don't really need to ink round all of it. Some of it you won't see is what I mean. But I am going to ink round all of it just in case things don't sit flat, flush, and you see an edge or something like that. So I'll just go around there like that. Now then, the next thing to do is put your window piece on over there like that, where it will eventually be stuck to, and whatever you're going to put in the back, put it in now while you can see where it needs to go. So I'm going to use butterflies. I fussy cut these out. That one I think was one I chose, this one, and come here, this one. These are the 3 butterflies that I've chosen. I think they stand out really nicely. I like them actually. You won't see a lot of them, but you know, I want them to be there. So I'm just going to ink around the edges of these. I have only just fussy cut these, which is why I haven't inked around them yet. There we go. Might as well do the lot of them while I'm doing it. So I hope you're having a nice new year. I hope that you had a lovely Christmas, those of you that celebrate Christmas, that Santa was good to you. If you haven't watched the live stream from yesterday, I didn't make a well, I suppose it is a New Year's resolution of sorts. I select a word at the beginning of the year that I aim to sort of live by until the next New Year. Last year it was pressure, because I just wanted to get rid of the pressure that I was feeling. Nobody was putting me under pressure apart from myself, you know, about getting videos out and doing this and doing that. And I wanted that to go away. So my word was pressure. But this year, my word, and I know you can't read this from where you are, but it's rediscover. It's upside down for you there, but it says rediscover. And that's my word for the year. I want to go around my crafty stuff, my books that I've got. Oh, I've got so many books. All the things that I have. Papers, scrap, you know, paper pads by the 1,000. Well, that's an exaggeration, but, you know, I've got a lot of paper pads, some of which I will never use. And somebody else could have the pleasure of them. They could have them in their stash, taking up their space. So as I go around looking for things, come across anything that I know I won't use. I will, you know, kind of pay it forward really. Let's see if we can get that central. What you do want to make sure when you're doing this is that the tips of your wings, particularly this one here, is really well stuck down, because they're going to be putting things in and out of there. And if it's not, it'll catch and it will drive you mad. This I know. So yes, rediscover. Sometimes when I'm looking for things, I'll come across things that I don't even remember owning. I mean, isn't that shameful? It's an embarrassment, actually, that I have all these beautiful things and I don't even use them. It's just bad. So I'm just making sure I've got enough glue on that tip there. Make sure that's square and pop that in there. Fairly central. You can put yours on the wonk if you want to. I know some people prefer it to be angled a little bit. I'm just going for these straight because I just quite like the look of it. So yeah, that's it guys, rediscover. I'm going to allow myself to buy consumables, you know, like printer ink or paper, that sort of thing, or a like for like if I run out of, for example, vintage photo ink, then I'm not going to go for a year with no vintage photo. I can replace like for like, but that's it. Can't buy anything else. Even when Timmy comes out with his lovely new dyes and all that stuff, no, it's not happening. Yeah. Right, so the next thing I need to do probably is to, well, that's going to go on there, and in an ideal world I'd just use a piece of paper, put it over there and then cut the windows out again. But I've got all these remnants here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to collage this piece. I don't know what it's going to look like. In my mind it looks nice, but maybe it isn't. I don't know. I just about get a tag out of that, so I'm not going to use that. Here we are, look, nice little piece here. That can go at the bottom there. So let's just see where I need to cut that. Pencil would be good, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Pencil. Right, let's just cut that off along there and then we'll just stick that on and we've made a start, haven't we? You can tear yours if you want to. It might actually even be nicer if you tore it, but I think it would take loads of time. So I'm just going to put that at the bottom there like that. I'm not inking each piece individually, they'll all get inked around the edges at the end. So if I go over into the window, at this stage it doesn't really matter because I can cut it out from the back. So I'm just going up to that window edge there, like that. And it's overhanging a bit on both sides, and don't worry, just tidy it up. It's overhanging a little bit at the bottom as well, but I'll get that at the end. There we go. So what can I stick up the side? I've got some text there. That would look quite nice. So I need to trim that there. And there. Whoops, a little bit more than that. Let's see if I can do it on my Timmy trimmer. It doesn't like just cutting small pieces, and I've got no way to sort of hang on to it. So that's there on the line, that's there on the cutting line. Let's give that a go and see what happens. See if that's okay. Yeah, that's great. That's lovely. Let's get that stuck down then. Wasn't intending on using such big pieces, but I mean, that's just perfect, why not? I'm really trying with this book to end up with 0 scraps, and I mean 0. Just going to trim that end off because it's the end that came out of the book. Right, let's put this down. Yeah, and so far I'm doing quite good on the scraps, using them up. Even the tiny bits I've cut into tiny tags. There we go, that's grand. Just take my eraser and get rid of that mark. Oh, I quite like that. What else have I got that's got a pattern on it? This piece here, this has a pattern on it. That could go there. Let's trim the end off that because that's the rough edge. So I could use that there. Just come right along there. I might need to trim it off in the middle, yeah, because it's too wide, but that's okay. I can do that. So I'm just going to cut it there, stick it down. Oh, it's coming together much more quickly than I imagined it would. And we've got that satisfaction of using up scraps. I don't know what... I never used to feel like this about scraps, but I do now. There we go. That's that on there. Lovely, lovely. Glue everywhere. I've got this. That would go there, wouldn't it? That would go there. Let's put that on there. I mean, I don't want it to look like it's made of scraps, you know what I mean? I want it to look nice, obviously. Let's square it up with the bottom and then I'll just have one edge to cut. There we go. That's lovely. Oh, it is nice. I like it. Oh, I've got this. That would go up there. I'm just going to straighten that top bit up. It's just not quite straight. Oh. There, that's the bit. There we go. So if I put that, yeah, I've got plenty of room there. Right, so I need to trim it. I'm just going to stick this on and then I'm going to trim it. I know that's a bit naughty really, but it's alright, you can do that if you want to. So I'm going to try and get this right up to this edge, which then means the window edge, which then means I don't have to cut it in the windows. Oh no, don't stick yet. This glue is so, once it's down, it's down. There we are. That's that. So let's trim all this lot up. See what it looks like. Looking nice, looking very nice. So what else have we got that's got a bit of a pattern on it? There's that bit. That could go there. So I just kind of want to trim that about there and about there. Stick that on. I know this seems like a faff. It is a faff actually, but it's saving us loads of paper. Somebody left a comment actually in the, the comments below the video, and was saying about how much the Edith books cost, etc. And then she said, but it's so much cheaper than the scrapbook paper that we buy. And she's so right. We buy this really expensive scrapbooking paper. I think that's just a bit too narrow, and I don't think any amount of me fiddling around with it is going to make it fit. It's just too narrow. I've got that bit there. Shall I use that? Let's use that. Yeah, you buy scrapbooking paper. I don't know what it is in the States, but here it's sort of £15 to £20 if you want a really nice one. That is just perfect. I'll just erase my pencil mark. Put some glue on. I think it's a bit sideways on this, but the whole project's a bit sideways on, so we're all right. There we go. Just like so. Right, so now we can trim all the bits out that's in the windows where we don't want them to be. And these excess bits on the side. A bit on the side, you say? Surely not. I don't know if you have that in America, actually. A bit on the side in England is if you're married and you have a girlfriend as well. She's called a bit on the side. Right, there we go then. So I don't know which way is up. That way, I guess. And I think that looks really nice. I like it. And it's used up some of our remnants. Nice, isn't it? Right, so where did my other bit of card go? Here it is. So that's going to go. Oh no, I need to trim my windows out, don't I? It's getting ahead of myself there. Just a little bit ahead. And that's no good. Right. Let's see if I can do this without a ruler. So watch it all go wrong. If it all goes wrong, you will never see this. It will, as they say, be on the cutting room floor. Actually, I'm not bad for doing that. I do. If I make a mistake, I do tend to show you what I've done, so as you won't do the same thing. Way. I guess the secret is not too much pressure. Too much pressure makes you go wonky. That is cut, just needs that side there. That's not cutting that corner, look. There we are, so it's just this one bit down. Who knew you can cut it without a ruler? Who knew that? Just be careful if you're using a scalpel. And for little ones, get an adult to do this, because it's not safe. Why does that not want to come off? Don't know. There we are. Finally, and always shut your knife up when you've finished with it. So that's that. Oh my, that's nice. Right, so the next thing to do is to get some acetate, and I need a new sheet because I've used all of my old one. This is overhead projector film, left over from the days when people used to use overhead projectors. Isn't that a fabulous graphic? Now, of course, They are very old-fashioned, but they hadn't used to be. When I was at school, they were all the thing, all the rage. I'm looking for a pen that will write on this. I've got a white one. I wonder if that'll write on it. So I'm moving it quite far over. There we are. I'm just going to roughly cut that out. See what it looks like. There we go. Let's turn it to that side and see where we are. Yeah, that's fine. It's just a tiny bit in, 1/8 of an inch in on all sides and the bottom. The top, however, still needs to be trimmed along there. Who knew that white pens work on acetate? We're finding out a lot today. It's a day of discovery, never mind rediscovery. There we go. Right, so I'm going to stick this down onto there. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else I need to do. I think I've covered all bases. Yeah, I think we're okay. So I'm just going to go about 1/4 of an inch away from each of the windows with my glue. One strip down there, 1/4 of an inch down the middle, 1/4 of an inch. So I'm not going to up to the window, and I'm not going to the edge of the paper of the template. Just somewhere in the middle, because I'm going to stitch mine. If you aren't going to stitch yours, you might need a bit more glue than that, but it should be alright. Acetate can be a funny old thing to get to stick. Now, when you're sticking it, push it away from the window, because if you push it towards it, it'll push the glue out through the window, and it just looks horrible. Looks very unprofessional. We don't want that. There we are. So that's on there. Looking lovely, may I say. Right, so what I'm going to do now is this. I'm going to sew from there round here to there, so that will be the bit that you can see there. I'm going to sew round each window, and then I'm going to sew right round this whole template. Okay, so I'll see you when I've done all that. I'll only be a sec. Right, so I've done all of that stitching. What I didn't do, and I bet you were all telling me to do it, was to ink around the windows before I put the acetate on. I haven't done it. I can't undo that now. So it still actually looks really nice. So it's okay. We're all right. So what I'm going to do now is just push my stitches in on the back. It just makes it easier for the tag to slip in and out when we get to that part, which is the next part. And what I also want to do is, that's going there like that, so the tags are going to be going in here. Now sometimes the acetate, it isn't caught in the stitches, and it's not maybe glued down fantastically, so there's a little ledge there that tags could get stuck on. There you go, the thumb's underneath it. So you put your tags in, get stuck on the acetate, and it's just a curse. So what I do is I get some washi tape. This happens to be very fancy Timmy washi tape. Any washi tape will do. And I just put a piece down there. Just down there, just inside that edge. And it just stops that problem. Which doesn't sound like it would be a problem, but it is. So let me put my Timmy washi away. What does he call it? Design tape. Yes, design tape. Now, I want this to stick forever. And washi Tim Holtz stuff, to be honest, it's very sticky, but I'm just not going to gamble on that. I'm just going to stick it down so that it's there for good and all. So just inside the edge, like that. Lovely. Let's do the other side. There we are, and that'll stop it getting caught up when you're pushing your tags in. There we are. So let's burnish that down with the this, whatever it's called, I can't remember. Bone folder, yes, that's it. So that's that there. So that's doing a good job. So now it's time to stick this to that. That's decided it wants to. Of course you do. Of course you want to stick around there. Don't be silly. There we go. There we are. That's upside down. That's that way. Right. Now I've got bits of washi on my finger that are never going to come off. So you can see that's what it's going to look like, and isn't it going to look gorgeous? But that's how it's going to look like without the tags in. So when you take the tag out, whoa, look at that surprise. Well, you might not be quite that surprised, but you know, you will think, oh, that's nice. So I'm just going to go around the 3 edges that's going to make up the pocket. Leave the edge with the washi tape well alone. You don't want to stick that down. We don't need to stitch this again because we already have stitched all the way around it. Alternatively, if you want to stitch it closed, just stitch down this edge first, then put it on and stitch around the whole thing. I'm quite happy doing it this way. So I just want a little bit of glue up the centre of there and here. There we go. So let's stick this on. There we are. Lovely. That really is lovely. I really like it. Okay, so the next thing to do is just, I'm going to clip it. In fact, if I can find my paper clips, I'll just paper clip it. Just until it gets the idea that it's meant to be sticking there. Just a few of these round and about will help it come to its senses and stay there. Not that I'm expecting it to move, but you know, I don't want to give it any opportunity. The main place is in between the windows. You definitely want to clip there. One along the bottom, and then I'm going to show you what I did with the other one that I really liked. I've never done it before, but I tried it and I liked it. Okay, so that's clipped. That's just going to dry away to itself. Let's press that down. Right, so what I did was I got myself some brads. Any size really will do, and if you've got coloured ones, they'll do as well. These are metal ones. Yeah, I think they are metal actually. I think most brads are metal, come to think of it. But there are 3 different sort of colourways. So I'm going to use those ones. They've got a sort of reddish hue to them. And I've selected 4. There we go. And what I'm going to do is get my yoga mat out, my trusty yoga mat, Don't do this, as I always say, on your dining room table. You'll regret it. Now, there's a pokey tool here somewhere. Pokey tool. Pokey tool. Okay, been located. All's well. Panic over. So what I'm going to do is just get my Timmy ruler, and I'm going to come in from this edge here about 3/8 of an inch. That sounds like a plan to me, about 3/8 of an inch. And I'm going to make a hole at the bottom there, and I'm going to make a hole right in between these two, which is about there, right in between these two, which is about there, and then at the top again, which is about there. Let's have a look and see what they look like. Hey. Yeah, you can see where I've put them. They're in a line, so that's a good start. Right, so now I need to make them slightly larger because I need to get my brads in them. And of course we've got paper, we've got card, we've got acetate. So they're a bit thick to push through. But we'll get that. And I just kind of like the look of these, actually. Right, phew. So let's insert these and see what you think of them, if you like the idea. So I want the legs where they're not going to obviously come outside our card. So turn them round, get your bone folder and flatten them down. I mean, this is serving two purposes, obviously, as you can see. It's serving the purpose of looking nice, because I like things like this, and keeping that pocket from pinging open. It's not going to do that because there's a brad in it. It's not going to tear beyond a brad. Not that I think it would anyway. I'm just being super cautious, really. But you know, nothing wrong with that. So I just want that spun around a little bit, just so they're all lying within that back. Now, doesn't that look gorgeous? Don't they look super on there? It's just elevated it to something else. I mean, if you wanted to, you could put them on these corners as well. I don't think it needs them, but you could. What was I going to say to you there? Yes, you've got three little pockets here, but if you want to make this into stick this onto the page and make this a pocket, the backs of these brads will drive you mad. You won't be able to get anything in it. So what I'm going to do, you could use washi again, but I'm just going to use good old masking tape. It will do the job perfectly. And I'm just going to use a little bit of glue just around the place where it's going, just to keep it intact. And once I've got it on, I'll run down that leading edge with glue. That's it. Just so we cover the backs of them. Nobody's ever going to see it. So, it doesn't have to be a work of art. It's just to stop a tag, should you wish to put one in it, from catching on them. I've got a bit of a thing today about things catching, haven't I? But, it does happen. So let's just ease forward that edge there, and we'll glue it so it really, there is no danger of it catching. There we go. Just a little bit of glue along there, along that leading edge there. And we can stick that down, and we don't ever have to think about that anymore. It's good to go. Lovely, let's trim the top and bottom. Well, let's put the lid on my glue first, because it's quite warm in here. Once again today, I've built a furnace. I don't know how Mr. F gets it right all the time, to be honest. He's just a good fire builder. Let's take that clip off. Well, I'm quite good. I'm too good, that's the problem. Right, there we are. So, all we need now are some tags to go in it, really. That's all. Let's take these clips off. It'll be dried definitely in here by now. There we have it. I'm thinking it's turned out really nice, actually. Don't need my cutting board anymore. Let's put it away. Right, so some tags. Right, what we're going to use, that's the question. Well, I don't want to use text because they won't show up. Just a pattern, I think. So I've got several that are just patterns. There's that one. Yeah, I could do that. I could do that. I think we'd be all right with that. So I want them about the same height. Well, that way. Width is really, I suppose. As that. So let's trim that out. Where's my trimmer? Get the Jolly Green Giant out. So, yeah, about there. I mean, we're making remnants here, but, you know, what does it say? You can't make an omelette without breaking eggs or something, whatever that is. Yeah, you can't. So that's on 4 1/4 there. The overall, that way of it. And then I need to see how wide I want them. Calamity. Let's just measure it. So from there to there is 2.5 inches. I'm going for 2.5. I think that's good. Yeah, 2.5. I don't really want the very top bit because there's not much on it. So I'm going to trim that off. And then I'm going to go for 3 2.5s. 2.5. 1. 2. Chop the damselfly or whatever, a dragonfly in half. Oh well. 3. So there's a remnant, and I'm going to chuck that a little bit there. Right, so we've got 3 would-be tags. Now I need to stick those onto something to give them a bit of thickness because they're just paper at the moment, obviously. So, and I do need to remember to ink around them, although I can ink around them after. I couldn't believe it. I got halfway through sewing the first one and I thought, oh, I've forgotten to ink these. It's quite nice for me to be allowed to, well, I say allowed, I've made the rules, to embellish these because I haven't embellished any of the others. I haven't put lace or trim or anything on them. I haven't put any brads in them. I do like brads. I really, those metal ones. The ones I'm using I don't think are Timmy brads. I think I might have bought them, I don't know, off Ali maybe, possibly. And they're great. They could have been off Amazon. There's a lot of sellers buying stuff on Ali and selling it on Amazon these days, I see. I just want to get that straight up to there, and that's a edge less for me to cut. It's quite pretty this, isn't it? I'm glad I chose this one. There we go. So this one can go right up in that top corner, and that'll be 2 edges that I don't have to trim. There we go. Put the lid on my glue. Honestly, everything's just collapsing around me. It's one of those days where you definitely need to tidy up. These pages want to be in on the act, definitely. Right, so I can chop those out now. They're probably dry. I hope so anyway. And then we'll see about making them into tags. I'll just cut one out and show you what I'm going to do with it, and then I'll carry on do the other 2. There we are. There's our pocket here. Let's just see if that fits first. Oh no, it looks like it might be a bit tight. Yeah, that is tight. It's quite a lot tight. Might even have to see what it measures between there. Even 2 1/4. Well, I'll try 2 1/4. I'll take 1/4 of an inch off that one. What does it measure anyway? It measures 2 1/2, doesn't it? Yeah, so I'm going to make it 2 1/4. And that, I think, will be the answer to our problems. Hopefully. Yeah, that's lovely. Lovely. Goes right in there. Now, I don't really want them sticking out beyond this. I want them in. So I'm going to have to take probably 1/4 off there as well. So I was a bit generous with my estimations here. So that measures 4 1/4, and I need it to measure 4. So 4 by 2 1/4. That seems to be, let's just check that. Yeah, that's absolutely perfect. It comes to that stitching line. That's great. So I'm now going to put some little, if you've got one of those We Are Memory Keepers things that punches the corners off your tags, now is the perfect time to use it. I don't have one. I don't think I need one. Right, just making sure I've got the text going the right way and I'm cutting the right end off. I'm using, actually it happens to be an old driver's license, but an old store card, credit card, any hotel key card, anything like that. Just cut the corner off, and then you've got a really good template for making both sides of your tags equal. Okay, so let's try that in there. Wow, look at that. That's just wonderful. Now I'm going to do the same to the other, nearly didn't know where I'd put them there. I'm going to cut those down to 4 and 2 1/4, cut the corners off. I'm going to ink around them and sew them. So I'll see you when I've done that. Right, finally I have my 3 tags. I have put a hole and an eyelet in the top of each one. What I would say to you is make sure that it's quite near this edge, because you don't want it down there with ribbon trying to get out or whatever. You want it sitting there on this section, you know. So let's just pop some ribbon in that. This is Beresford's, what they call natural gingham. Ordinary gingham, it's bright white and it's just a bit too much for dear old Edith. So this natural stuff, I love it. It's kind of cream. Not that bright white, it's sort of green and a nice creamy colour. So I want 3 pieces of about equal length. Don't have to be exactly equal. Don't know why I'm being so specific. Like that. So if you're looking for this ribbon that's called Natural, it does come in different widths. It's by a company called Beresfords, Berisfords, and it's, as I said, this is 15 mils, this stuff here, and as I say, it's called Natural Gingham, and they do it in lots of colours, but I thought the green was best for Edith. So I'm just going to literally pass this through and tie it just once, and that will do. Yeah, except for my fumble fingers. Yeah, just like that, and it'll stay. It's lovely. So that's the one for the bottom, and you see when we pull it out, we've got a butterfly. Put it in, put it out. It's like magic. So that goes there. I'm glad I chose this page for the tags, actually. I think it looks really nice. And that one. Lovely. And that goes there. And they just fit perfectly. They are, since we chopped them down to 2 1/4 by 4. They're perfect. Says she, I bet this top one won't fit now. Pride comes before a fall and all that. Yeah, a lot of you have asked me where I live. I guess I've got an accent you can't place. I am actually Scottish by birth. We now live in England, pretty much on the border, but in England. But I spent most of my life in the southern part of the, well, Midlands, southern part of the country. So my accent's a bit this and that. It's not anything particular. So there we have it. Look at that. How pretty is that? You can't see because there's glare. There you go. That's it. I really like the collage that we made. I love these brads. I think they just, you know, they bring a lot to the party. I like the green gingham. I just like it all. I like the fact that when you take one out, whoo, butterfly. I just love that. And I love the text behind it. So you can use it just like that. You can stick that into your page and you've got lovely triple pocket there. Or you can glue round there, there and there. And then you've got a big pocket if you want to put something large in behind it. So that's today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed making these. I think they're just super pretty. And now I've got another 2 elements to add to my basket, which is, I'm going to have to change to a bigger basket, I think. So I'll see you again very soon. I hope you're keeping up if that's what you want to do, and if not, I hope you're just enjoying watching me craft and having a nice time with my Edith book. So I'll see you again very soon. Bye!